What is up, YouTube? This is your girl, Killer Rose. Okay, so right now, we're gonna, the reason why I'm whispering is because people are sleepy, okay? I'm gonna make another, part two of, things I knew, when I was in my 20s, is learn how to say no. Learn how to say no to things. I was a yes person. I would say yes to everything. I was the type of person that thought, well, you just don't know if you're gonna miss out on something, but sometimes it just exhausts you. It does. And sometimes you just don't know what you're getting into until it's too late. And it's insane. Sometimes I have burnouts, crash outs, not really. Crash outs, for me, crash out is overused. But that's not a whole point of this video. But, learning how to say no. Just say no. Say no to people who say you will own nothing and you will be happy. Say no to that. Say no. You will have no business bending to the knee to social pressure. Drinking alcohol and doing drugs, say no to that. Say no to the big things. Say no to the small things. Say no to influencers and to celebrities who tell you how to vote. Not me or anyone could tell you how to vote. Only you get to have that choice. You have the right to vote. You only get to vote based on what best interests you, not from other peers or other people who threaten others because they do. You get to decide. I only convince people to vote people who best, represents us Americans. I care for people. I care for people that have the opportunity. But at the end of the day, even when I convince people to vote, for other people, it is mainly your choice. It is your choice to decide which better candidate is going to represent me and America. So that's based on you, who you think that it's going to better interest you as an American. You get to choose that voice. You can decide which way you want to go. And that is your choice. Learn how to say no. Even if it hurts someone's feelings, everyone has their feelings hurt. You think that that it may not seem that way, but trust me, on this channel, it has. It has, and sometimes I just spew my own opinions, and guess what? People are mad, are red mad. So you might as well just say, you know what? This person, doesn't represent my country. In fact, they don't represent me at all. And so I'm going to say no, that they're not going to go into office again. And I'm going to have someone replace them by someone I think who's going to do a better job. And that's as simple as that. Say no to social peer pressure from other people. Okay? Say no to those who indoctrinate children. Say no to those who violate our rights. Say no for unfair injustices in America. Say no to all those who oppresses their people. Say no to AI takeover. And now what I mean by that, when I say about that, I mean people who are losing their jobs. People who actually are getting hurt by it, by people misusing AI. And yes, I yet to talk about this, but someone actually was about to get in trouble, and it's not with the police, but in fact, it was someone who was trying to misuse AI, and they were about to get charged by, I think it was by Lyft. But but they, they already, dismantle all that, and, they were able to tell Liv that, can you send me the pictures? Just, because, I guess their daughters was like, no, we didn't damage the car, and they were like, send us the pictures, and we gotta see, because is this AI generated? And yes, it was AI generated. And now, and sometimes, it's not, it's it's stuff like that, small things like that can turn into a real huge problem, that people would try to tamper with evidence, or try to tamper with pictures, based on the fact that they want a quick buck, or they just want to see someone in jail that they don't like. And it's not just gonna be pictures that they're gonna use, but it's gonna be videos. And if it's the future, then it is the future. I can't change it. No one can change it. But I'm just trying to say, it is better to be aware that there is such a thing when there's new things coming into this world. There's cons and there's pros. I mean, there's a good thing and there's a bad thing. Con is the bad thing. Pro is a good thing. You are being progressive, and the con is just a con. It's just a way of you trying to do something that's opposite from good, from being progressive. Okay, so when I say no to AI takeover, I mean to those who are badly affected by it. Oh, that's my cat. Say no to everything that you feel like it's stressing you out. I'm not saying anxiety. I mean, people have disorders, they have all this, right? But say no to reasonable things. Just, I'm not saying say no to car payments, or to things that are avoidable, okay? Say no to the simple things that you can control. I say no to wars, but also say no to nukes. It is okay to say no. It is totally fine. It's totally fine for you to disagree with me. You could say, no, Rose, you're wrong on this subject. And I could tell you why. And instead of you calling you insults, I never received a threat yet. I haven't received a threat, based on my life, so it's good. Until now, right? We'll definitely get into it if it does happen. But say no to things that, that doesn't benefit you. It is okay to say no. It is okay. Democrats are trying to make it harder for us to have that right, for us to have the right to say no. And I really think both sides are, I'm not gonna say the Democrats, because I think that's more biased than anything. Sorry, my camera is not focused, but just say both sides no. That's it. I'm not gonna be biased, but I'm just saying, most of the majority of the things that the left push, I say no to all that. But there's some things to the right that I say no to. It is so weird, but I notice things and I hear things, but I say no to a lot of things than what I do to say yes for. And they'll call you right-wing, a racist, anything to say you're wrong, and look at what's best for the government instead of the people. And say no, no, and no. Say it more and loud and clear. Say no to the top of your lungs. You can shout it out outside in reason. They guess they call it disorderly conduct or something, or you're using your voice to the point that it's disturbing the peace. That's what I'm trying to say. Is that you're basically you're being too loud to the public and people are being bothered by it. If you're in your own house, or you're I would say not in your own apartment because there's someone, next door, but if you have an open area that there's no cars, there's just less traffic and no buildings, say you're traveling, you can go out in the middle of the nowhere, right? And you could scream the top of your lungs and yell out no. And that's it. I think that would be a huge relief stressor, if you ask me, is to say no, top of your on top of your lungs, and just scream it out. Yeah, that's what my main opinions and statement is to say no to things. To people who are trying to reframe you from speaking or trying to listen in, just say no. Just say, you know what? I got this. I'm okay with your input. Thank you, but no thank you. You have your own opinion. I want to have mine. I want to be able to look at it so I can decide whether I think it's based, it's true, and I want to go in from there and try to deep dive into my own research, into my own things. I want to be able to do what I gotta do to tell people and let them decide. I'm not gonna tell you what to decide, or you should agree with me. I don't care. I spew my own opinions, and based on what I gathered, the evidence, and I put it out there. I'm not here to rage bait. I'm here to basically give my own opinion, whether if it's going to receive a backlash, because it has happened before, or not. Sometimes, if it doesn't click, then it's okay. It's there when it needs to be there. And that's it. So that's the main point of this video. You say no to things that it doesn't either interest you, or it just doesn't really align with your beliefs, or your political position. For me, I don't like to be biased.